young QBs set to break out or bust. So we just took a couple young QBs that are in their second or third year and just, based on their situation this year, their past, whether they are set to break out or bust. So the first one I'm going to give you is Mac Jones.
All right, bro. So my thing is, all right, so, we pull up the Patriots. We say, all right, look, the reality situation is, and, like I was saying before, I don't really think the Patriots offense is anything. I mean, again, the Patriots offense is, you got a good old line group.
It's mid.
But it's so mid. It's so mid. And so with Mac Jones, who, again, we saw Mac Jones rookie year, we were like, hey, Mac Jones, man, like, looking like kind of how he did. He was not going to look as good as he did at Alabama. Historically, just throwing that ball so accurate, just so a lot of things going perfect, but it was never going to be that. But hey, he looks really good. The Belichick, it's going to be his new guy. It was kind of the narrative. Next year, I'm trying to think of like a nickname for him, but I just can't. It was the Crybaby Jones era.
Yeah, he was whining about a lot.
Dude, yeah, the Crybaby Jones era last year. And so, then the narrative starts to kind of flip. And at least for me right now, I don't want to, crybaby's not the right word, but yeah, a lot of, public whining and, you're the face of the franchise. It's not a good look. But, you're still a young guy. He has a chance to turn around this year. But I think this really's got to be the year because we know the Patriots aren't going to be fucking around. If he's not the guy after this year, they're moving on. There's no doubt. Whether it's a public moving on, like trading him, it's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be something along those lines. But I think it'd be much more along the lines of like, all right, dude, like that next process has started. Like we are looking for the next guy. We are trying to trade up for the next guy, whatever it might be. I have no doubt that if this isn't the year for Mac Jones, it's like we got to get the wheels rolling because Belichick only has however much time left. We don't know. Only he knows at this point. So, I'm sure he doesn't want to be playing around with a mid quarterback situation. No. It's just not what they're going to be doing.
So let me play devil's advocate for a second regarding Mac Jones. I don't necessarily like that he was like publicly, I guess, whining, but at the same time, like Bill Belichick fucked him last year. Okay, so he had Jacoby Myers, he had Ramondre Stevenson, Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith,
fallen off versions.
That's what I'm saying. So and then they had what, Matt Patricia calling plays? Like, okay, so listen,
that's where it gets atrocious.
You're in a second year of development. You're in a system that has historically been very rigid. I'm not talking about like an offensive play system. I'm talking about just like the Patriots way of things, right? Like they're like, you got to be the guy. You got to do this. You got to do all your roles. Respect. I get it. But at the end of the day, Bill Belichick, it's like the Patriots haven't evolved to that like player coach, like respect level. Like, like you don't treat players the same way you treat them. Like you have to be more of like a build them up instead of like a be hard on them. Right. And it's like, just because Mac Jones is in the situation that he's in doesn't mean that we should, in my opinion, like give him more flack. Like if you look at like a Burrow, like a Zach Taylor, or like these young, like offensive minded coaches, like that was the thing. Like look at Brian Flores and Tua. We thought Tua was a bust, and the jury's still out. I mean, his health concerns, but with Mike McDaniels, obviously he's got the fastest receivers in the league, but he played much better than he did with Brian Flores. And I could feel like that could be kind of a similar situation because Brian Flores is all about the Patriot way. So if when you have these young offensive minded head coaches that like really nurture their young quarterbacks, and then you have a Bill Belichick who's so stuck in his ways of doing things, who refuses to upgrade the pass catchers or like this all-star offense. I mean, like D-Hop would be nice, but what? You have D-Hop and Juju Smith-Schuster? Like that's still not what you need. So it's just kind of like, I think Mac Jones could, and then also with the Bailey Zappi thing, way to kill just a person's confidence. And with him going out and whining, it's also like, well, dude, you threw me under the bus. So why would I ever have your back? But I don't know.
Well, I don't get me wrong. I agree with you saying completely. I do. I think it's just like, I completely do. On the other hand, though, it's like you remember when Mac Jones got drafted. Yeah. I'm trying to think of the easiest way to say what I'm trying to think, like what I'm thinking. But we remember, Mac Jones hit this jolly walk, cheesing. Yeah. Like he had to know. Like this was not going to be any other team. Like this is going to be more challenging. Like this is the team with the pedigree, with the guys, the ownership group. Like they have vision. And the thing is, if you're not going to fully tailor to that vision, shit's not going to go. And I get what you're saying. I do agree. But like we're saying, Belichick's got to get to the point where he realizes. Because again, I don't think he's ever realized this because it would probably hurt very hard to realize this
Yeah.
to an extent. Because again, you kind of are pushing more of the responsibility of how good the dynasty was onto him, like Tom. But the reality of the situation is, like we've said and acknowledged, nobody ever is going to be able to play with his, I don't want to say poor, but just average receiving
Lackluster.
lackluster receiving cores as Brady
Subpar.
did, and go far / go all the way. Like there's just a completely different awareness level that he had in everything, like every single formation. He had so many different. The way he saw the game is never going to be like any of these young guys he'll ever have. It's not. It's just never going to happen that way. Because again, as we said and as we knew, Brady had some time, but even before he was a starter, where he had some time to sit there and learn.
Yeah.
Where Max never had. He obviously he's had now time, but we're just, you get my point. It's just not the same situation. It's not the same era of football either. That's the biggest thing. Like running the run pass game, it's not the same as it used to be. It's much more pass heavy. It's just, you need pass catchers.
Yeah.
You need at least one dominant pass catcher. And it's like, when's the last time that's
a true
happened?
number one.
Literally, I'm not trying to, because I could be really wrong here, but when's the last time it's happened for the Patriots besides Randy Moss? And besides, Gronk does not. I'm not talking about like receiver. You know what I mean? It's like, besides.
They have not been, they've been really bad in the draft with wide receivers, and they just have not spent money on those skill players outside of tight ends. So I don't know.
Yeah, the Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith cash out. Like what the? And it's
That
like
was
now in hindsight, what are we doing? I don't know. I mean, we know. Yeah, I still believe in the Patriots, but it's this really weird waning belief.
Yeah,
like
it's the longer it goes on, the more and more I believe that like Bill Belichick will have to go to another team if he wants to win another ring.
Which is the weirdest thing like ever.
What if he goes to
some Phil Jackson stuff going on?
The Browns.
That would be so funny, and it almost would seem kind of like legendary. Honestly,
because
like,
I'd go back.
I'd be so there for it. Like, dude, that's the ultimate storyline. Bill comes back. They kicked him out initially. He's like, I had to get my shit together. You know, like I had to get my. And then he's like, they're begging for me back.
6 rings later.
Like, where would you be? Like, he's like, it's like the circle connects. He's like, if you guys never fired me, I never would have been me. So it's like, hold on now. Now that I'm me, I got to come and help y'all get to where you need to be.
Yep.
I don't know, dude. It's some weird universal circular shit going on. But hey, look, we're here for it at YDKB. Belichick to the Browns, baby. Send it.
Breakout or bust, Mac Jones. I'm going bust this year. I don't think it's a bust as a career, but bust this year.
Yeah, I'm going bust this year. I could really see this Patriots tenure just like waning out on him.
I could also see just another mediocre year for him.
Yeah, no, I think, I'm
3,000 yards, 20 touchdowns,
12 interceptions.
Yeah, something like that.
I think the trajectory we're seeing, bro, is I'm starting to see like Mac Jones will sign that second contract with another team. I really do think it's going to be that way.
Okay. Breakout or bust, Kenny Pickett.
This one's fun because I think a lot of people probably would disagree with me. I think a lot of people are just Steelers haters, but I'm going breakout for Kenny P, bro.
Okay.
Like I think I
can see it.
I think I like a lot of intangible things about Kenny P's game. I like how good he is at the end of the game. It's the most important thing, dude. A lot of quarterbacks are really good the whole game and then will shit the bed at the end. It's kind of them the opposite for Kenny P, which is fine though. I'd much rather have that. I'd much rather have you struggling with all the concepts at the beginning of games when it doesn't matter, and then really locking in and being able to get it done when it does matter. Yeah, because it just shows me you focus more when time matters, and that's fine. I would much prefer that. I don't, we can work around the other stuff.
Yeah, so the downfall of Kenny P will be Matt Canada. You're not lying. They plug the O-line. The O-line is, I won't say it's fixed. They filled in spots where they need to fill it in. Obviously, it can always be better, but because they got Broderick Jones and they signed Isaac Samalu, right? Okay, so they got that. They have Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, A-Rob. They got A-Rob for what, a 7th?
Yeah, the A-Rob move could be crazy.
Darnell Washington. So
the Darnell Washington too.
The Steelers,
Pat Freiermuth.
They're looking loaded on offense, and they have Najee Harris, who I think will play better this year. Let me not say that because I still want to get him, but I think we'll play better this year under an offense that has a better O-line and more options, because it's like A-Rob is really like it's like literally like a boomer bust thing. Like they got him for nothing, and he could also be a great wide receiver 3 for them. So I like Kenny Pickett. I like his intangibles, like you said, because he's just like, when he got taken in that first round, like everyone was like, "Oh, he's not a first round quarterback." Like it was like the jury's still out, and if he should have been taken in the first round. So I'm gonna lean more towards breakout for Kenny P this year.
Hey, Kenny P breakout, bro. I'm telling you again, that sounds weird right now, especially when we've seen with the 2 gloves out there. The whole situation is just a little bit funky. But the Steelers, bro, we know Mike Tomlin. This is the best situation. This is not the best, but when you're young, this is one of the best situations you can be in.
He's a coach you want when you're a young player. All right. Breakout. Oh, I'm going to restart that. Breakout or bust, Justin Fields.
Hey, we know. We got to go. Breakout for Justin.
Got to be breakout.
It's got to be a breakout for Justin for multiple reasons. But I think, as we've been saying too, main thing is you'd agree with. It's just the Bears went all in on getting him weapons.
So here's what I'm going to say. Because I'm a Bears fan, so there's obviously going to be some bias here. Even when the Bears in 2018 made the run in the playoffs, or not made the run in the playoffs, made the run to the playoffs, and the defense was amazing. I will say, I thought Mitch was good. Obviously, we learned that he wasn't. But I never have felt a way about a quarterback in Chicago like I have about Justin Fields. It's a different feeling, and they have DJ Moore, they got Claypool, whatever you think about that. Their wide receiver room goes down a peg. You got DJ Moore, Claypool, Mooney. Then you have Tanyan, Kmet. You have St. Brown as your 5. He's just a blocking. You got Tyler Scott, who I heard was who was a steal in the draft. You got Roshan Johnson, Khalil Herbert. The offense is good. They plugged the line. The only thing they got to work on is Cody Whitehair, but that's not an immediate fix. Justin Fields is poised to break out this year. A lot of people who don't watch the Bears think because they were 3-14, they're bad. There was a lot of one-score games. And the Vikings were what? 12-5, 13-4 last year?
13-4.
13-4 and had 9 or 11 one-score games. I cannot remember.
11. I remember because I got corrected on this.
Yeah. They were lighting your ass.
They were lighting my ass up for this when I had to get my shit together.
All I'm saying is, if you think the Vikings were good last year and think the Bears were the Bears might have been the best 3-14 team there ever was.
No lie. And bro, I'm going to say, I'll just be the one to say it because people might get on my ass for this, but I'm excited because this take's going to age like, what's something that ages well?
Wine.
But that was too easy. This shit's going to age like, John Stamos. No, bro, jokes aside, look, bro, y'all really might have a top 5 O-line in the league this year. Like by the end of the year, this could be like top 3, top 5 unit. Like, I mean, seriously, like, all right, so let's just start over here. Braxton Jones had a fantastic rookie year. And y'all, if you've been listening to this, if you know my thing that I've been on for a long time on this show, it's literally been for years now. Before we had more fans watching, appreciate y'all for real. But the thing is like say for years now, tackles that are drafted in those late rounds that have that quick start to their career are always the future Hall of Fame guys. Like it's just this weird thing that like is a thing every year. There'll be a guy drafted like round 3 through 5 that just comes in 3 through even 6, 7. Like it's sometimes really rare 6, 7 guys, but where they just come in right away and fucking ball. Like remember Mike Onwenu for the Patriots a few years ago? Like I can name a bunch of examples of this guy.
I'm not going to sit here and act like I do, but
he's been a beast for a while. And it's like, that's the thing is there are these guys where every year someone will come in 5th, 6th, 4th round and just be a beast. That was Braxton Jones last year. So it's like, you got a perennial guy over there at left tackle. Tevin Jenkins, been my guy since he got drafted. Again, started off on the wrong foot with tackle because he's not a tackle.
He's a guard.
They learned that. He's a fucking beast. He just knocks people over when you're standing low. That's what you guys got him doing. 3rd highest rated guard in the league last year. And like you said, Cody Whitehair is really the only thing you're not a huge fan of, but it's not like the worst situation in the world.
He's like average.
Right. Yeah.
I'll take league average as my worst.
You'll take a guy right in the middle. Again, it's just for one guy in the line. And then Gabe Davis and then Darnell Wright's going to be a fucking beast.
So it's Gabe Davis, Nate Davis.
Yeah, dude, I don't know why I just said Gabe Davis.
Nate Davis.
Nate and Gabe. I'm sorry. Something about him's a little similar. I mixed them up. But yeah, no, seriously, like you guys have a fantastic line. Cole Kmet too, rock solid blocker. We know he's not the greatest tight end in the world, but hey, like in the run game, he's gonna get the job done.
Yeah.
And the Bears are still gonna be run first team. The pass obviously is gonna be a highlight. They're gonna try to emphasize it a lot more, but they're never gonna change the core of the team. They're gonna be a running team. That's the strength of the team.
I think that's obviously gonna help Justin a lot. And here's the thing. Okay, so one of the big talking points at the beginning of the year was, oh, should they trade Justin? Should they try to get Bryce Young? And people were one of the main arguments for that was you reset the quarterback contract. Okay. Besides receiver, where does most of your money go on offense? The tackles. We have a tackle in the 5th round that's on his 2nd year and a 1st round tackle this year. So you're going to save on those contracts right now. So you have the money
for
even if you pay
3 years.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, I get the resetting, but like beyond receiver, you already have DJ Moore on a cheap contract.
Well, and also, like, and to the thing about Bryce Young, bro, like, realistically, it's just for the way the Bears, the system right now and everything.
Yeah.
You bring in Bryce, that will never work again. It doesn't, you don't have that dual threat. It's just, yeah, Bryce is good on his feet, but it's not the same shit. It just never will be that way. If he needs to escape, he'll pull it out. But we know for his size stuff, that's never going to be how he plays. It cannot be. So yeah, it just, they would have taken out an entire element of how they succeed. And it just, that in itself just kind of would be hard.
Okay. So breakout for Justin Fields.
Oh yeah, we're breaking out.
Breakout or bust, Trey Lance.
Well, as we know, it's very contingent. And if he could somehow take starting job or something happens to Purdy. So I give the two-way answer. Like, seriously, if he can find a way to get playing time and like get out there with the starters, whether it's through injury or actually winning the job, rare chance. But again, I'm just speaking hypothetically. I think there's no way he's not gonna have a good year. Like, it's kind of just, you're starting for the Niners, you're gonna have a good year. Even if Sam Darnold found his way out there, Sam Darnold could put up like a Pro Bowl season. You know what I mean?
I agree. Something I also want to point out about Trey Lance, he's only 23. So
it's crazy.
He's very, very young. And I think he's one of those guys where it's just going to be like, he needs a change of scenery. Like, and so this is something that we'll talk about later. But you remember like the Trey Lance to Minnesota rumors were kind of like, oh, sorry.
Little alarm.
Yeah, I just got to repeat that just to check the cameras. But anyway, Trey Lance to Minnesota rumors. Well, from my understanding, I saw something today that we'll talk about a little bit later. Unless we want to talk about it now. Kirk Cousins is not. Let's talk about this later. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings are not having contract extension talks.
We're definitely going to bring this back up later.
So my thing is like, I think he needs to change the scenery. And barring a injury to Brock Purdy, there's no way Trey Lance starts. And I also think they don't want to play Lance because if he gets hurt, they cannot get anything for him. And that's a reason why they signed Darnold.
No, yeah. Dude, quietly, I'm sure there are still calls being made. Because again, John Lynch can sit here all he wants and tell me that he's part of the future. It's his job. He doesn't want to make Trey feel uncomfortable. Doesn't want to make that situation awkward at practice. I get it. It's his job. But the reality is, dude, there's no way that at least once a week he has not talked to one team at least once a week and just kind of just chopped it up. Just throwing details out there. Obviously, they come nowhere close to an agreement. Nothing's actually said. But there's no doubt like that. Those talks happen. Like it has to, because again, he's not just sitting on an asset worth as much as Trey Lance with his thumb. Like it's just not what it is. No, it would make no sense because Trey Lance is such a high value asset, even though we're not seeing him out on the field. Probably a top 4 or 5 highest valued asset on the Niners, and the Niners have tons of assets.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go bust this year for Trey Lance. So,
he's very contingent on his situation.
Yeah, and also if Purdy can do what he did last year, it's gonna be interesting. Breakout or bust Trevor Lawrence. Now Trevor Lawrence kind of had like a mini breakout last year, more towards the end of the year, but I think he's going to break out and be a top 7 QB statistically, even higher. Like I think really like with Calvin Ridley coming in the second year under Doug Peterson, that offense is kind of flowing. Christian Kirk, they got Travis Etienne again, the second year off the injury. So I think he's getting even better. I just think that Jags offense is really going to be something to like be fucked with. Like that's something where it's like, yeah, like the Jags are going to be in a very competitive AFC. I feel like they're going to be the clear-cut winners for the AFC South for the next couple of years unless the Titans figure out their quarterback situation fast.
No, absolutely. And just from a schematical standpoint, like the way Doug Peterson runs his offense, they're just going to be so hard to defend. The way that they combine plays look the exact same with just little nuances that are a little bit different. Like that's the Jaguars. That is Doug Peterson. That's why the Eagles were so successful with him. Yeah. And it's like, now we're at the point where, yeah, like you're saying, dude, I could see Trevor Lawrence throwing, I'll even throw like a number right here, like 49 to 4,800 yards.
Yeah.
And like 35 plus touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like you could see that, like that kind of year from him. Like no doubt.
I could see 40 touchdowns.
Bro, easily. Because from a physical standpoint too, like Trevor Lawrence is not worried about anybody else in terms of like coming for his spot, in terms of like, he's a bigger, better, that he has the perfect, that was his thing coming out. He has the perfect build. I mean, you really can't like structure a quarterback in a lab like better than Trevor Lawrence besides like speed. But again, it's talking from like a throwing standpoint. There's not guys that really come built like him a lot, like mentally with all the tools. So we know he has it. Now it's just honing it.
Breakout Trevor Lawrence. We'll keep this one quick because it's a caveat. Anthony Richardson, the only rookie on this list. The only reason I have him on here is because I think he has the best chance to have like kind of like a star-studded rookie season in terms of like, he's just such an athletic freak. And I like that Shane Steichen's the guy that's there, Eagles guy who, helped Jalen Hurts develop. I feel like they're going to kind of use that plan for him. And it's just like, if the Colts line can pick it up, if JT can pick it up, if Pittman Jr. and Pierce can just be like serviceable, like to the point where it's like, if he throws you the ball, he's confident that you'll catch it type thing. I think Anthony Richardson has probably the best chance to develop the quickest out of any of the quarterbacks coming into the league. Develop, not be the best. Develop the best and have the best. I mean, I think he'll be the best rookie quarterback. I'm not saying he's going to have the best career out of all the rookies for the quarterbacks, but I think he's going to be the best rookie quarterback.
No, I mean, 100%. And we're talking about, I always say Pro Bowls don't mean a lot because they really don't. But in this sense, for being a rookie in that situation, it would be significant.
Yeah,
I do think I could see him having like a Pro Bowl year, instantly being that Colts fan favorite because again, he's very much in line for it. It's not like that's a surprise to anybody. But yeah, if he comes out this year, and I think here's how I'd picture it happening. Again, like we're saying, the Shane Steichen offense, I could easily see him finding a way to get that game plan going for A-Rich, where even if he's having not the best game, maybe 120 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception, it's like, hey, he's still going to go out there and rush for 80 to 100 yards, keep that clock moving, keep the game close. Because again, at the end of the day, that's the biggest thing about why that stuff's so important too, is when you can run with your quarterback, you control the clock, right? So it's like him and JT, even if you're not putting up a ton of points, if you can fucking control the ball for 12 minutes and then score a touchdown, that's how Colts are going to win the games this year. And it's possible, and they're definitely going to win a few games with that combination. So I could see the Colts fans get kind of in mass getting A-Rich to the Pro Bowl this year, and that would kind of be the start of that great arc of the career we see him having. So I definitely see it kind of like a Cam Newton start to the career.
Yeah, definitely needs to start out hot.